Prior to making this video, I waded through pages and pages of videos at YouTube looking for some to feature on the topic of death. There were many, but they almost all were either death of some horrible and tragic nature, the glorification of violence, the avoidance of it in terms of talking about what is beyond it, really remarkably little of merit on the normality of death, on the facts and the practicalities of death. Death happens. It happens to every last one of us. I mean, they say the only thing in life you can't escape is death and taxes, and it's largely true. Even if some people manage to avoid taxes for most of their life, they'll probably pay it when they die. But the purpose of this channel is to stop death being as bizarrely taboo as it appears to be. People are so sorry when you talk about death coming, as if it's something that must not happen, is utterly unacceptable. Now, I know that death can sometimes be ugly, painful, difficult, but that is not always the case. Unless we change our attitude, unless we stop seeing it as something hideous to turn our faces from until we have absolutely no choice, is absurd, unhelpful. I'm not suggesting we obsess about death, but I do think we need to be informed about it, educated about it, to understand it, to accept it, to see it as something that's part of life, so that when it comes to us or someone that we're close to, we can share it. It's the time in your life, oddly enough, when you can be as close as you can get to somebody, because you know your time is limited. So you tend to address, if you're not frightened of it, every issue that you may have remaining. Again, I know that some people don't get that luxury, and it is a luxury. But if you hold back from speaking because death feels ugly or scary to you, then you will be confronted with those feelings after that person is gone, when you cannot talk to them. You cannot tell them how you feel, or share that final journey with them, when they may need you more than they ever have. So that's just a basic sketch of what this channel is going to be all about. I want us to be able to share our stories, our experiences, our fears, our thoughts. It's not to bash anything. We all have our own ways of learning to deal with such things. But let's get this out and look at it. I, because of what I've been experiencing of late, have some very valuable stories, or they have been certainly valuable to me, and therefore may be useful to others, to see a little bit more about death and the process of death in a realistic, honest, open way. Because I think part of the reason it is so fearful is because we really don't know very much about it, other than the sort of horror stories that we hear or the things that we see on TV. So if you have any videos that you yourself, anything you'd like to say yourself, I am happy to upload them here, as long as they are not obviously breaking any guidelines or hideously offensive. Please feel free to private message me.